Welcome back again to another video of our NFL Week 12 predictions. We just went over the Thanksgiving and Black Friday games and then all the Sunday games and that Monday Night Football in our last two videos. So be sure to check those out if you haven't already. And for this one, we're going to get into our homer picks, our home teams, Eagles, Steelers, Rams. And we'll start us right off with the in order of which ones go first. Let me make sure here. We got the Steelers up first, Sunday morning. Steelers versus the Bengals in Cincinnati. And I'll let our Steelers fan take us off.
Yeah, we're all unanimous on this one. Pittsburgh didn't have a good showing last week. The first one to admit it just didn't look good. I thought there were still some positives out of it. I didn't think the Browns' run game went too well, and we got a rushing attack good against, which we said the Browns are top defense, but Jalen Warren had over 100 yards, and Najee had not the greatest day, but we still had over 100 yards rushing. And I kind of see it the same script as the Bengals. They have a backup quarterback. They're going to rely on Joe Mixon a lot. They're going to try and probably neutralize TJ Watt and Alex Highsmith, just like the Browns did. But I feel like our defense did well last week. I mean, we didn't let up too much besides a little bit in the first half and then the final drive by Thompson. I felt like our defense played great. And I just betting on the Pittsburgh, our offense is just the rushing attack. I'm hoping with the Matt Canada firing, which we'll talk about in another video, kind of brings life as we've seen from these other teams this year with the Bills last week firing their offensive coordinator, looking a little bit better on offense, or the Raiders just being better as a whole from firing their staff. So I'm hoping a little bit of happiness and optimism in our offense. And yeah, I just trust my team and the Bengals. We've talked about Joe Burrow and why he's been running around getting hurt. Just that offensive line hasn't been playing good, and TJ Watt and Highsmith, as long as they get the time, they get off, they're gonna have a field day. So tough matchup for Browning, but I got the Steelers.
You can go
Sorry,
ahead,
no,
Jake.
You about to
I
switch your
just
pick?
can't. No, not switch. I can't switch. I mean, just yeah. I wish Joe Burrow was playing, but he's not playing in any of these games for the rest of the year. It's like I can't pick the Bengals. They're not. This isn't the team that we all thought. So, and they're not going to be able to carry on without him. So, yeah, I think that's kind of why we're all unanimous on this one. But also just kind of curious what that Steelers offense will look like. I don't know who you guys play caller is, but just curious to see how it's going to look for the rest of the year.
Well, the guy who's prepping it's weird. We have a weird situation. I'll dive into it, but it's kind of our running back coach a little bit. So
Well, he's doing a
Yeah,
good job.
we can cover it in the next video.
yeah, I'll talk about, but yes,
Okay.
I'm excited for this
Yeah.
week.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with both y'all. I don't hate the Steelers. I think they've been playing. The defense is looking great. Tough loss last week. Kind of honestly didn't surprise me. It just felt like that was the type of game the Steelers to lose after, you know, being looking pretty good the last 2 weeks before that. Just a division matchup, and Browns somehow found a way to take that, just one of those dirty games and come out on top. But yeah, I don't expect this to happen with the Bengals. Definitely, who knows? I mean, it's football; anything can happen. But until we see something from Browning, I mean, yeah, he played the Ravens game, but you playing from behind, you're gonna have some stats when the script is calling for passing when you're in a losing game, coming in for your injured starter. Um, but yeah, until we see some success from him as a starter, just can't bet on the Bengals no matter what. Uh, yeah, if this was Joe Burrow, I'd probably be going Bengals, but yeah, right now just can't do it. And yeah, like Jake said, for the rest of the year, probably not gonna be able to bet on them. But yeah, definitely, hopefully it's not as close of a game as it was for the Steelers with the Browns. Definitely going to be a little concerning if it is. But yeah, I think the Steelers got this one locked in for sure.
It will be
We'll
close.
see. I don't know. Yeah, we'll cover the Matt Canada situation in the next one.
I don't think we've had a Steelers game not be close this year. I think everything's been down to the wire. At least my health is not taking good turns every week,
I mean, we've been there.
unless we're
We've all
getting
been
blown
there.
out.
But getting into the next one, the first afternoon game on Sunday, um, Rams versus the Cardinals in Arizona, and I'll start this one off. Uh, Taking the Rams, obviously. Definitely a hard fought win last week. Kind of got lucky with that field goal miss at the end. Um, but definitely, I like the way our team looked. Kind of pretty much in every game that we've won, we've just been that second half team where we kind of struggle in the first half and then figure it out in the second half. So, I mean, if that happens, I'm not going to knock it. Hopefully, I mean, I'd much prefer if we just got it together in the first half and continued it. But I like this matchup. The Cardinals, even with Kyler Murray, still aren't that great. That defense is, going to give up a lot of points. Um, I think Kyler Murray. I think he'll get his, and I think James Conner being back, they'll definitely have a lot going for on that offensive end. But I just know what the Rams are going to do and have been able to do against the Cardinals. I think in the last 14 games, we've only lost, including the playoffs, we've only lost them twice. So I like our track record against them. I know Aaron Donald always has big games against Cardinals. He usually gets to Kyler Murray once or twice. So I expect this one pretty locked in for us. We are having Kyron Williams back. Not sure if Cooper Kupp is going to play. He's been day to day with kind of an ankle sprain. Hopefully he does. If not, I'm not super worried. Our offense actually in that game against the Seahawks looked better in the second half without him. And I know what Puka Nacua has been doing all year. He's been stepping up, filling in, and I think he's going to have a big game again today. And I just love the young guys we have in our team. They usually kind of step up when we need them most. But yeah, I think Aaron Donald is going to be the factor this game. I expect him. I could see him go for 2 sacks this game, if not 1. He usually always finds a way to get to Kyler Murray. Something about him, that little small frame, he always finds a way to get onto him. And yeah, I expect him to get his this game. But I think Braden is our odd man out here, so I'll let him take the Cardinals.
Yeah, I got the Cardinals in this one. I like the way Kyler Murray's been playing since his return. I think he's looked pretty good. Been playing some clean ball. I mean, stats isn't the best this year. He has 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions, but I thought he's been playing well, getting that offense moving. Definitely, they look like a competitive team. They even gave the Texans some challenges. I mean, it pretty much came down to the end in that game. I like that they're getting James Conner back, just adding another weapon. Receiving core, I think this is a challenge for Murray, but I like what he's been doing. They don't have that dominant number one like they had in Hopkins last year, the last few years. So Murray's really having to spread this ball around. If it be Rondale Moore, Marquise Brown, or I think he's a rookie, Trey McBride. So a lot of offensive weapons that you kind of just can't game plan around one. So it's a little trickier because you just gotta play good defense all around because you can't target one guy. And a little scared about the Rams. I mean, Kyron Williams coming back is huge. I just felt like their run game hasn't been much since pretty much his injury. So, and we all know what was doing in the beginning of the season when he was that feature back for them. He was just having a career season. You can flex on him, even though you didn't pick him up in fantasy.
I didn't. I can't believe I didn't believe in him, man. I feel bad.
Yeah, and you told me about him last
I
year.
know.
Too.
I hyped him up so much last year. I knew it was coming, but I just didn't expect Cam to get just kicked out so quick.
I should have known. I hated Cam Akers. I've always hated Cam Akers. But back to the Rams, I think their offense is going to be a lot better. Cooper Kupp is questionable. I'm hoping he plays for fantasy reasons personally, but it's a divisional game. It's going to be a tough game. I mean, Cardinals aren't playing anything. The Rams are still trying to get in that playoff seed. I can see Cardinals at home playing spoiler this week. thinking the Rams might just not come in here. I don't know. I just think Kyler might somehow pull it off. Didn't get it last week. I think he gets it this week.
I like this game. It's gonna be a good one.
Yeah, I think so. This matchup is usually a good one. But yeah, definitely should be interesting. Division games are always a good watch. Last but not least, the second to last afternoon game of the Sunday slate. We got the Bills versus Jake's Eagles in Philadelphia, and I'll let Jake take this one.
Eagles gauntlet continues. Next on the list is Buffalo. Wearing our Kelly greens again, one more time on the season. Yeah, Eagles coming off that big win in Kansas City. All year they've been a resilient team, and I don't see why it's not going to continue this game. Obviously, the Bills are coming off a big win after scapegoating their offensive coordinator, but I'll give them props. They had that much needed win against a division game, so I think that was probably the perfect spot for them. But like I said, Eagles, very resilient team. Doesn't matter how good, how bad they play in the first half. The second half, they always come back. The offense will always put it back together, and the defense always adjusts. As you've seen, they held the Chiefs to next they held the Chiefs to 0 in the second half, and then even against the Cowboys, they stopped them time after time at the goal line. So this is just a defense that that will bend and not break. So I expect something similar. Bills will obviously have their success. Stephon Diggs, Dalton Kincaid, I think they'll get theirs. Maybe even Gabe Davis, he might get some of his. But overall, yeah, I'm picking the Eagles. This is the better team in my opinion. This might be a closer game than maybe what some people might expect.
Once again, I am going to be betting against the Eagles, regrettably, but I don't know. I'd like to take the Eagles just because I feel like they're 9-1 and they're just going to continue to roll. I think, but I don't know. I feel like the schedule they've had has just been so tough this entire year, and the back tough matchups. I don't know. To me, I feel like this is just one. They got to give up one eventually. I feel like, and I know last week Jake was saying that he thought if they beat the Chiefs, they were going to lose the Bills, or if they lost to the Chiefs, they were going to beat the Bills. So they beat the Chiefs, so that means they should lose the Bills. And yeah, I got to go with Bills in this one. I know I kind of was down on Josh Allen. I still am as a whole for the whole season. I still think it's been pretty rough.
Talk them up. Pick the Bills.
Last week, yeah, they bounced back. I mean, I don't know. This year has just been weird with coaching staff firings and the Raiders situation, and then now the Bills, and then now Steelers. So I don't know. It's just kind of been weird. Like you said, it was kind of a scapegoat. It wasn't necessarily like it was the coordinator's fault. They kind of just somebody needed to get fired, I guess. But I don't know. Then after that they had a huge game and looked like they were the Bills of last year. But yeah, I think this is another opportunity for Josh Allen to step up. I personally think that I like I said, I've been down on him this year, but he's got to have his good games here and there. I don't know. To me, it's more so of the Eagles. They got to take a loss somewhere at some point, and I feel like this could be that game because they've had a really tough schedule this year, and this is just another one of those. I mean, supposed to be elite team Bills. They haven't really been this year, but we know last year they were. So I still kind of put them in that elite team category. But yeah, another back-to-back pretty decent, tough matchup, and I just feel like they gotta drop one, and this is going to be that game. So I'd like to take the Eagles, but it's just another one of those toss-up games that I think could go either way, and I gotta take the other side for the risk. But yeah, that's gonna wrap up our home picks here, and that's gonna finish our predictions for the week. And hopefully we'll see some good games. Definitely got a few of those matchups we're gonna be keeping our eyes on. Um, and check out all the other videos if you hadn't already of the other predictions for the Thanksgiving games, and then all the other games of the Sunday slate outside of our games. And in the next video, we're going to be going over just some kind of news and happenings in the league, just some stuff, kind of storylines, and we'll go over the Matt Canada situation that we kind of talked, Braden mentioned, and then a few other player moves and stuff like that. But check that one out, and that's going to wrap up this video, and we'll see you guys in the next one.